Okay, we are live. And I am excited to be here today. I'm here with Clay Bushong, who is a man about town in so many different ways. So, as I mentioned, Clay, you have been such a great contributor to the community of Pelham and a great resident. And so I thought it'd be fun to put another poll out there and talk about, who is Clay Bushong? One second here.
Am I allowed to answer the questions myself?
Yes, please do.
What if I get them wrong? Oh, wow.
So who is Clay Bushong? Is he the Director of Programming Operations Marketing for the Picture House, restaurant owner, co-president of Pelham Chamber of Commerce, husband, father of 3, and co-founder of Pelham Half Marathon? Let's see.
I think we can do them all. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just to tell the, I'm not supposed to tell the.
Yes, somebody got it right. That's right. I love it. Good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I moved to town about 15 years ago, and I never thought I'd live in a place called Pelham or somewhere like Pelham, but we were looking around and we found a really nice house, our first house in Pelham, which was behind the Picture House in Clobelly, one of the townhouses. And then we lived there for about, I think, 5 years. And then we moved to Nyack and Franklin, right across the street from high school, which has been really nice. Came out with 2 kids and now have 3 kids, as you do. You fill up that space that you guys sell us. And and so when I first moved here, I own an online marketing company. I have a background in music management and venue management. And my realtor at the time, who's McClellan Sefferdy's realtor, Michael told his daughter was at the Picture House and they were looking for someone to manage it at the time. And so she called me and said, would I be interested in that? Since I lived around the corner, I said, sure. And I love movies. And then it just turned into me never leaving and taking over the programming and the marketing and the operations. So actually I did take a little stint off, but so that was my.
That's great. I love the Picture House. How's the Picture House been doing?
It's, the best we can, I think, right now. We have a lot. Francine Albright, who's our director of education, has come up with some great plans dealing with making sure kids keep learning about film. And our summer camps obviously all got changed and adapted into more of an online environment. And we're introducing some new adult classes, not adult film classes, but classes for adults about film. So big difference. Learning about adult films and films for adults. And then the programming, the distributors have been switching to online formats, a lot of them. And then most of the bigger distributors have pushed everything back to next year. So right now we're just in a holding pattern. When Cuomo opened up stage 4, we thought that we'd be part of that, and that we had originally, we're going to book Mulan, Disney's new live-action Mulan, to play at the Picture House on July 24th. And then Cuomo said theaters don't count in phase 4, theaters and gyms and malls. He has since opened up malls. But movie theaters are still in a holding pattern of when we can reopen and how we can reopen. We've been talking to a lot of people about HVAC and how to make it safe inside, and how to best deal with the recirculated air and new air. And we're working on trying to reopen once we get the green light. The problem is that most of the movie studios like Disney, Universal, all the big ones have pushed their movies back to 2021, because even if they could release it in New York, you can't really release it in Florida or Texas or California. So, and some of these some of these movies they've invested hundreds of millions of dollars into. So they don't want to open up and only have, 10% of the country be able to see them. So right now we're really just literally in a holding pattern. We looked a lot into doing outdoor screenings, like drive-in movies and whatnot. The problem is, as you know, the space down here is at a premium. So there's not a lot of wide open spaces. You can park a lot of cars. and gatherings are still limited to 50 people at most. So even if we did it where people could bring chairs and sit out, we could only have it at 50 people. And the equipment for projecting outside screens and the rental of the spot is just too cost prohibitive for someone to start it up. Maybe if we knew it was going to go on this long, we might have tried a little harder or looked a little bit harder on financing, but it's really expensive to show a movie outside. Shockingly expensive, because there's difference between people showing movies in their backyards and the quality of that people expect from the picture house of showing movies, the types of movies, and the quality of the event. So yeah, it's been sad. My whole life is based around trying to get as many people into the smallest space possible. So we've had to adapt, and I think that with the Picture House, there's a great team in place, and we've all been working hard to make sure that all assets of membership and the public, the members, and the education, the kids have been made available opportunities to continue the conversation.
Yeah, that's such a tough situation. Now, do you guys, I'm sure you're in a consortium with other film centers, and I'm sure this is a common problem across, not only Westchester County, but around the United States.
Yeah, no, I'm on several calls a week. One of them's an operations call, and it's with people from BAM and MoMA and Jacob Burns. And MoMA's not open. I mean, sometimes you think about our little space and why can't we open, and then you realize there's places like MoMA with multi-million-dollar budgets and thousands of employees that are still closed, and they don't know when they're going to open either, because they don't qualify in the plans of how you can open right now with the state. So you realize that everybody across the country is getting hurt.
Yeah. So how can people help the Picture House?
Just it's a conversation, just paying attention to what we're doing and staying informed through social media and the email blasts right now. We have a lot of it. We just had this great documentary about John Lewis that turned out to be extremely, sadly timely, because he died. But it's a great documentary. We have some great Sundance shorts, which are some of the best documentaries from the Sundance Film Festival that are playing right now, which are both great programs. And we're trying to release virtual movies every 2 weeks or so, much like we did with when you came in. And just pay attention, and join the film. We have this weekly film challenge now where we give people a start and an idea of what we want to see. And we just had our first winner this last week. Joining that kind of stuff, have your kids joining that kind of stuff. And just know what we're up to, because right now we're not asking for money. We're talking about how, our biggest fundraiser, one of our second biggest fundraisers, Picnic in the Park, which I know is a big back to school. Everybody's coming back. It's in September, and it's always sold out. It's great. I know a lot of realtors buy tickets for their new house purchasers, because it's a great way to meet young people who are interested in film or just Pelham in general. And I can't tell you how many people I've met there that just bought or moved to Pelham or the area and use that as a vehicle to really get out and meet people. So that's going to hurt, not having that income. It hurts not having that, not just a fundraiser, but as a friend raiser. I know that's a silly word a lot of times, but we have people on our boards now that the first time they came out, the first event that they came to in Pelham when they were new was coming to the Picture House Picnic in the Park, and they met a lot of people and got involved that way. So we're going to have to really look at how we can get, and I noticed, I think you posted, right, that there's a lot of the new people are having a hard time meeting people because there's no events to go meet people, and how will we onboard the new Pelhamites and stuff like that. So luckily we're a great neighborhood, and neighbors reach out, and so hopefully nobody's feeling lonely out there in Pelham right now.
That's right.
If they are, tell them to give me a call or stop by Cantina, and I'm happy to talk to them.
come get a drink at Cantina.
You said it, I didn't say it, but yeah, if you want a drink, that helps too. That helps.
So I have a little poll here about the Picture House because, like you said, the Picture House has been around since what? Let's see. I have two questions on that. One is, well, first we'll start with. Oh, my question got messed up on the second one, but what famous actor has not been to a Q&A at the Picture House Regional Film Center? Excuse me. It used to be called the Pelham Picture House, but it's the Picture House Regional Film Center.
Yes.
So it was Tom Cruise, Ryan Reynolds, George Clooney, or Brad Pitt. So if anybody's out there.
Again, I'm answering just because I know. It makes me feel smart.
Well, you know, this is like my first time in doing Facebook Live from Zoom, but I'm not sure if the Zoom questions work in Facebook Live, but so that could be one reason why we're not having as much participation. But let me answer these. And then the second question was, what year was the Picture House originated? So why don't you tell us? So who was the person that hasn't been here? What famous people have been here?
What famous people have been here? So we've had Tom Cruise came for Lions for Lambs. Sean Penn came for, oh God, what's that movie about the kid who lives in Alaska and dies? Sorry if you haven't seen it. Oh, Into the Wild.
Yes. No, that was Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. And then George Clooney came. I forgot what George Clooney actually came for. And then Michael Douglas came, but Brad Pitt has never come to the Picture House that I know of. Maybe he might have come.
All right, well, we need to work on that. That's our project.
Exactly.
You'll make a lot of people very happy.
Yeah. 2 years ago, we got Best of Westchester. We were Best Popcorn in Westchester. So we were very proud of that. So maybe Brad Pitt came and tried the popcorn and just saw a movie and didn't let himself know.
I love it.
So he could have been there, but I met all the other ones, luckily. I was there when they came, but not Brad Pitt. So, and then
Picture House originated 2004, 2005?
2003, 4, 5. Yeah, 2005. So actually, Picture House was built in 1921. It is the oldest continually operating movie theater in Westchester. You could kind of go back and forth. It could actually be one of the 3 continually operating theaters in all of America, but we're still trying to figure that out. It's actually a hard thing to find out. But
that's
we are the oldest. Yeah, right. And obviously we're not operating right now, but
right. We're counting that. We're counting that.
We're counting this. So yeah, so we're definitely in Westchester and possibly all of America, but probably because a lot of theaters have shut down for a couple of years and then reopened. But yeah, 1921.
Wow,
it's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
And then 2004 is when we became, 2005 is when we became nonprofit. Yes, we were planning a big event for next year, which is our 100th year anniversary, 2021.
Wow.
1921 and 2021. So I have no idea what that'll look like either. Hopefully we'll be back in by
maybe
January.
that could tie in with the picnic in the park, if not sooner.
Lots of picnics. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Who knows? Okay, so we see that you're sitting there in Cantina Lobos, and so you're not just about the Picture House, you're also a restaurant owner, and not just one restaurant owner anymore, but tell us, how many years have you been co-owner of Cantina?
So sadly or happily, depending on where your politics are, I remember this because we opened on election day. We got our liquor license on election day of 2016. So this will be our 4th year open. Yeah, it's crazy. So we had it 6 months before to do renovation. If you don't know that, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure you were never here because it was a dive bar. And it was a dive bar called Chaps, and I knew the owners, and because I'd walk by every day going on my way to the Picture House, and they wanted to sell. And so we sold, and I got some friends together, and they got some friends together, and we all raised the money to build Cantina Lobos 4 years ago. Fill a hole in the town, which we felt there was a need for a cocktail bar and a Mexican restaurant. So we opened it, and we've been very pleased with the response from the area. We won best new restaurant in Westchester in 2017. We're very proud of that. And yeah, thank you. And so now we are here, and a little different than it was in the beginning of the year, but we managed to have a great team. I have a great team in place, and when they said the restaurants were going to have to shut down and we were going to have to do something different, everybody chipped in, and my servers became delivery drivers, and my bartenders became takeout packers, and the kitchen was all in, and we managed to go straight into takeout. Within 2 weeks, we worked out the kinks, and we were up and running, and luckily the governor allowed beer and wine and liquor to go, which was a big help because everybody likes a margarita during the pandemics. We made our margaritas a little bigger than we originally had them, and so we went to takeout, and it's been great. And we just are now creeping back into outdoor seating.
I have a little picture here. I'm going to share my screen and show a picture.
We've been working closely with the village. There's the picture house. We've been working closely with the village to get there it is, Cantina Lobos outside, Double Rainbow, yeah. We worked hard with the village to get the spaces in front of all the restaurants available to the restaurants if they wanted to rent them out, to provide, the lost income that they would see from the meters, and to provide moving of the barricades. So they were great, and we worked that out. And so now the restaurants that wanted them all have places to sit outside. I think everybody knows that you're not really supposed to be inside for extended periods of time. So this is our new normal right now, to serve outside. And luckily the weather's been fantastic. And people have been coming out more, but still getting takeouts. We also have picnic tables across the street if you want to just do takeout and eat picnic tables out there and not be waited on. So yeah, so it's been good. It's been an interesting switch, and but we've had a good reaction from our customers, and they've been beyond supportive. I think a lot of pre-COVID times. We had people coming in all the time asking us to support their baseball league or the soccer fundraiser, their play, PCT, and we were always, is it fun to write $100 check? No, but it's we're in a part of the community, and these are people who come into our place to eat, so we willingly write a lot of checks and I think a lot of restaurants do, and then I realized at this time that that's where it all comes back, that when you need them, they come back tenfold, and they realize, you always supported them, and now they're going to support you in a time like this. So we are very, very well supported. And I think a lot of the restaurants that stayed open that had been supportive of the community were very well supported by the area. And it was very humbling. It was very humbling. It was very nice.
Well, that makes me really happy to hear. And certainly a lot of people can still buy gift cards. If you're looking for a gift card to Cantina or a local restaurant is a great gift, and everybody always appreciates that. And it helps your local businesses for sure. And you didn't just stop at Cantina though. You opened one of my favorite ice cream shops, or some of the best ice cream in the area. I know people come from all over. Double Rainbow. Tell us about that real quick.
Yeah. So I'm friends with the landlord here, is Nick from Nicholas Day Spa. He's a great guy. I don't know if you guys are looking for somewhere to get your hair done. Nick is great. I would always mouth off to him about how I would love to have the ice cream shop if it ever became available, because I arrogantly thought I could do a better job. And he called me in the beginning of mid-May, and said that sadly Jim and his wife were going to leave the area because his wife had a medical condition that could that prevented her from getting COVID. It would be very bad if she got COVID. So they were going to move to California to be with their family. And they have kids out there. And did I want to buy the business? And I spoke with my wife, and we definitely love ice cream, and we love the place, and we would hate to see it disappear. And so we had a long conversation, and we ended up buying it. So it's not just me, it's my wife too. And my kids have a lot to say. They work there. So yeah, you know, it's one of those weird summers where I knew a lot of people would be around, and there'd be a lot of student help because all the camps were getting canceled. I know that there's a lot of, through the Picture House and through Cantina, I have a lot of high school kids working for me, and they're great. The high school kids in this town, in this area, I have some from Amerineck and Rye too. They're great. They're really hard workers, and I know that he would trust a lot of these kids to make great decisions in customer service and stuff. So I knew that we'd have a good pick of great employees.
That's
and
great.
We did. And
Timing.
sadly, a couple of them, now their schools aren't letting them back, so they're going to stay with us until the fall, which is, I feel horrible for them, but I'm glad that they're going to continue working, and I hope that they get to go back to college in January.
And so what are your plans for the ice cream shop? I think I read somewhere you were going to do some renovations.
Yeah, so right now we just wanted to keep it open with
Makes sense.
this summer, and everybody's buying ice cream, and so we're going to change the name in October and shut down and do some cosmetic renovations and offer some new options, more winter friendly stuff. I know people still, I obviously eat ice cream year round, but not everybody eats ice cream as much as they do year round as I do. So we're definitely looking at bringing in some more
Options.
stuff, more options.
Great.
For winter.
And then I heard you're going to open something new too. Tell us about your new venture.
Yeah. So another friend of mine in town and I are we're going to open a restaurant in May in New Rochelle called Townhouse. It hasn't obviously we had to put everything on hold, and now we're looking at more of a mid-fall opening. It's on Main Street, and it's a 2-story restaurant. The middle floor is going to be a party event space, and then the first floor is a large bar and food, and then the third floor we're going to do kind of an arts friendly office space for arts in New Rochelle, and open a podcast there, a New Rochelle type podcast.
Awesome.
So yeah, something similar to what we did in Pelham. I know we're going to get to that in a second, but similar to what we did to Pelham with just getting the word out. You know, there's no more Pelham Weekly, and I'm sure most people that listen to this don't even know about the Pelham Weekly. You know, there's no local newspapers besides the Pelham Examiner, which is great, but it's hard to get the word out now about different things. So we had to look at new mediums and stuff like that. So
sure.
That's what we're thinking about doing. Podcasts.
Great idea. Well, I have another poll now related to Cantina and Double Rainbow. So first we'll do Cantina. What do you think the best-selling brand of tequila is at Cantina Lobos? Is it Hornitos, Don Julio, Patron, Jose Cuervo, or Casamigos? Let me see. I guess I didn't launch it there. Here we go. Sorry. Hornitos, Don Julio, Patron, Jose Cuervo, or Casamigos? You can vote too, Clay.
I will vote. I'll vote the right answer. Even though my favorite is Casamigos, our most popular brand is Patron, for sure.
Interesting.
By a mile. Yeah.
All right, and then something I think this is really interesting. What is the best-selling flavor of ice cream at Double Rainbow? Is it vanilla, chocolate, mint chocolate chip, campfire s'mores, or flying fish fudge? Yeah, and I'll let you vote because I think that people can't vote. Oh, campfire s'mores is the answer.
S'mores.
That's so interesting.
That one. Yeah.
And go ahead. Tell us. That was a big surprise for you.
It doesn't even taste like ice cream. It's like marshmallows. It's like gooey marshmallows. It's
I love it.
It's good. It's interesting.
It's a popular flavor.
Yeah, people love it. Yeah.
You know, I Google searched what was the best-selling ice cream flavors, you know, in the United States, and it was vanilla, chocolate, mint chocolate chip, and then cookie dough or cookie or something like that. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
It's
And
definitely
then,
popular.
you know, I know our time is winding down, but an important job that you have is, of course, co-president of Pelham Chamber of Commerce. And you guys have done some really exciting things. I was just going to share my screen again really quickly to show, sorry, it just takes a second, kind of what some of the things the Pelham Chamber has been up to that I've been researching, and I'd love for you to fill me in, but you know, why don't you start with, you guys came up with this great campaign.
Yeah,
Pelham Strong.
yeah, Pelham Strong. That was, we really wanted, we knew, we did that early on. It was kind of an extension of Wolf's Walk. If you don't know about Wolf's Walk, it was a festival that we had a block long every, the last 2 years. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do it this year. But it was quite popular. As you can see, everybody was crowded in, not the way you're supposed to be now. And we really thought that a long time ago, they used to have a farmer's market in Pelham, and it wasn't super successful. And so we needed a lot of the businesses like Thrive and Tig and Peach and Richard's Passport, who at the time were unable to let anybody in their stores. How were we going to get them out? So we said, let's start a farmer's market and have a farmer there, and then have all the options for Pelham businesses to come out. And then how are we going to pay for this? Because it's actually not cheap to have a farmer's market with insurance and whatnot. So we started the Pelham Strong with Kevin Christiana. I don't know if you know Kevin Christiana. He was on Project Runway for season. He's a good friend of mine, and he works for Ed Hardy and Adam Levine. He's a great clothing designer. So he came up with the logo for free, just as a way of supporting. And then we made magnets and T-shirts and sold them. And then we actually gave them at cost to any businesses that wanted to sell them. And then they would keep the 100% of the profits. So we would sell them at whatever we paid for them from Jambar Apparel and New Rochelle. And then, so it was a success. A bunch of businesses made some money. We managed to open the farmer's market, which was a huge hit. People wanted to be outside. And now we have a whole committee now, Jane Sweeney, Christina Chinez, and Amy Cole and I, you know, doing it. Next one is in August 16th. And then we're going to do every weekend, every Sunday in September, will be a farmer's market at the Capital One Bank. And that was, I don't know, Patrick Normoyle, who's doing Pelham House. He owns the Capital One Bank. We don't need to get too far into that, but he's going to change it into the new Village Hall and a new parking structure, and a new police station, and a new fire station. And then he's going to build an apartment building across the street, but that's going to take about a year. And so he's donated the old Capital One Bank space to the Pelham Chamber of Commerce to do the market. So we didn't have to go through lengthy approvals and stuff like that.
That's fantastic.
So Patrick's amazing. He's been 100% Pelham, whatever we needed, he's there to support us. So we really appreciate that. And yeah, so the chamber has been interesting. It's been a great run. I gave it 3 years. My 3 years is coming to an end. But we have a fantastic person. Amy and I have secured a fantastic person to be involved with it, and we'll put a press release out soon. We both have stuff that we have to get, other stuff like Cantina, Double Rainbow, and Picture House back up and running. And she's going to be able to dedicate full time to it. So we're really excited about that.
Well, and you mentioned podcasts, so I just want to pop this last little poll up. But one thing you guys came up with was the new Pelham Chamber of Commerce podcast, which I love. And so if anybody can guess, what is the name of the new Pelham Chamber of Commerce podcast? Is it Love Pelham, Inside 10803, Pelham Presents, or Pelham Proud?
I know the answer. Although those are all great names.
It's Inside 10803. And I think that's a great idea. And how can people find the podcast? Is it on Apple, iTunes?
It is on Apple and iTunes. So you just search inside 10803.com. And then we have, we're on Podbean. So I think it's podbean.10803, inside10803.com.
Okay.
Yeah, or you go to the Chamber Facebook page or social media. don't go to the website right now. We're working on, that's one of the first projects that Christina's going to work on when she takes over. And we
Well,
have our
go ahead.
chamber intern starting next week. So.
Oh, good. Well, I just want to wrap things up because I value everybody's time and I value your time. And Clay, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. And the things that we touched on were so interesting, and everything that you are doing with the picture house and the restaurants and Pelham Chamber are all so wonderful. And we're thankful for you as a community member, and excited for your new venture in New Rochelle and branching out through Westchester. Soon you'll have restaurants everywhere. So thank you again.
Thanks, Jen. It's always a pleasure to work with you and all the great stuff you do for the community too. So thank you so much, and I will see you on the block soon.
Cheers.
Sure.
We'll have we'll have a house margarita, your #1 bestseller. Talk to you soon.
All right, take care. Bye.